कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् बोलो जय 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 श्री कृष्ण। बोलो जय 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 श्री कृष्ण। बोलो जय 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 श्री कृष्ण। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् देवकी तनयं यशोदाबालम् देवकी तनयं यशोदाबालम् राधा मनोहरं रासविलोलम् बोलो जय 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 श्री कृष्ण। बोलो जय 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 श्री कृष्ण। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् वेदान्तसारं गीतोपदेशम् वेदान्तसारं गीतोपदेशम् गीतोपदेशं गीतोपदेशम् पूर्णावतारम् आनन्दरूपम् साधु संरक्षकं राधा मनोहरम् बोलो जय 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 श्री कृष्ण। बोलो जय 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 श्री कृष्ण। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram. Om Parthaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitамритаваршиним Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusantadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadaihi Gayantiyam Samagaha Dhyanavastita tadjatena manasa Pashyantiyam yogino Yasyantam na vidusura suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha. Wisdom is never taught, it is always caught. Nobody can teach you wisdom. Knowledge can be taught, wisdom has to be caught. One has to catch, one has to understand, one has to observe and understand that. You may tell so many times to your child, don't go near anywhere to the plug with a wet hand. But invariably, every child, when you say don't, it becomes more curious. Why not? All of us have done that. Is there anybody in this room who has not experienced Paramatman there? Every one of us, knowing very well, put your hand, mistakenly or knowingly. Then what? Wisdom. Wisdom is where you have personal experience and thereafter there is no doubt. Afterwards, even if 100 people were to say, no, current actually doesn't give you shock. I know it. You don't need to tell me that. So that is called wisdom. Wisdom is where there is no doubt, doubtless knowledge that comes only out of experience. How much ever the teacher will teach, until we get our own personal experience, the doubt will not go away. Therefore, a man of wisdom, who is known as prajnavan, pandita, na anusochanti. Bhagavan Krishna says, a man of wisdom does not grieve. You are what? You are a Sugriv. Grieving all the time, like Sugriv. Sushtu grivati iti Sugrivaha. You don't understand? Grieving all the time, worrying all the time. So, why the man of wisdom does not grieve? Gatasun agatasumscha na anusochanti. Anything that is dead and gone or yet to die, meaning what? Subject to constant change. The worry or the grief is out of unintelligent expectation of continuous happiness out of that which is constantly changing. Think about what is not changing. Everything is changing around us, in us, within us. Expecting permanency in the impermanent, expecting happiness out of that which does not contain it, expecting permanency in the temporary things, that is what is the cause of worry, grief, unhappiness, depression, dejection. So therefore, he says, you are speaking as though you know it. Anvashochaha tvam ashochyan. That which is not to be thought and grieved about, anushochaha tvam. You are grieving about that. But at the same time, prajnavadam bhashase. You are talking as though you are a man of wisdom. In the Upanishad also it is said that people who merely have the scriptural knowledge only as a mere shravanam, such people, they think themselves as panditaha idi manyante. Such people who may have no personal experience, but they think they know. Now, let me clarify one thing here. Avidya can be removed by vidya. What I do not know, I can overcome by knowing it. But that does not mean you have had a completeness of that knowledge. The completeness of the knowledge happens only when you have no more doubt about that, as I said before. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhira pandidam manyamanaha dam dramyamanaha pariyanti modaha andena niyamana yatandha. It is like a blind man leading the blind. Think. A blind person leading the rest of the blind people. What will be the condition? I myself don't know. Just follow me. Where do they go? Swayam dhira pandidam manyamanaha. So people who think they know. So mere vicarious knowledge, mere knowledge out of the reading and studying does not mean that you have come out of your ignorance. So ignorance can be overcome only when there is an experience that dispels all doubts. That is why Upanishad also very clearly says, all the doubts cleared. Vidyate hridaya granthi chidyante sarva samshaya kshiyante cha asya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. Drishteva. Drishte means tasmin drishte. Only when one has a direct experience of it, then alone all doubts cleared, all bondages removed, all actions come to end. So here Bhagavan says, you are talking about as though you know, but you don't know. This is the first statement Bhagavan makes as a starting point of his advice to Arjuna. See, in Gita, you will find very interestingly, even though Arjuna's question was about dharma, Bhagavan starts with jnana. Sankhya Yoga is about absolute knowledge. As I said earlier, yesterday, unless you fix the final goal, you will not be able to understand the relevance of dharma. Before he even talked about dharma, he said, let us decide about what is the final goal. Where are you going? So when you take your car and start, what do? The GPS is asking you first, where do you want to go? Right? Guru Parampara system is asking you, where do you want to go? GPS is Guru Parampara system. Where do you want to go? One person was going on a road and there was a, what do you call that? Fork. Two roads. Which road to go? Because there is no board out around. So there was a small shop in India. Small tea shop was there. Where does this door go? That fellow said, I don't know. What about that road? I have no idea. Hey, you have a shop here and you do not know where this road is going. Are you not considering yourself as stupid? Yeah, I may be stupid, but not confused like you. So anyway, he said, that fellow said, that shopkeeper, where do you want to go? He said, I don't know. Then take any road. If you don't know where you're going, then take any road. Every road takes you somewhere. So if I'm not sure where I want to go, how does the GPS all work? So Krishna here says, you are fighting a war, all right. What is the purpose? What is the ultimate end you want to reach? You said, yes, Shreyasyan Nischidam Bruhi Tanme, right? Yes, Shreya. What is Shreyas? You tell me now. So then, since you said you are my disciple, I have to teach you first. So he starts from what is that moksha, which is the ultimate human goal. That's why it's called Sankhya Yoga. Samyak Kyayate iti Sankhyaha. Very well defined. Clarification in thinking. So here in the next verse he says, the final goal is to reach that which cannot be destroyed. Continuing. Yeah, it's working.
Nainam chintanti shastrani.
Nainam chintanti shastrani. Nainam dahati pavakaha. Na chainam kletayantyapaha. Na shoshayati marutaha. Gurudev used to say, to any person who is belonging to a particular profession, you must use the same kind of words. Sometimes when you go and talk to people of a particular profession, you will not understand what they are saying. If you go to a person who is in the world of accounts, so the person will come and tell me, Swamiji, I cannot somehow reconcile with my wife, because they talk about reconciliation, bank reconciliation, accounts reconciliation. Another person would come say, I think me and my husband have no correct chemistry. Then you know which, right? So by the words that they use, you will know what is their profession. Here, what is the profession or the work of Arjun? He is a warrior. And what does he do? Destroy, kill the enemy, and then make sure that he wins. So here he is using his kind of statement. You cannot kill. What? Na enam chintanti shastrani. The ultimate nature of you, which you need to reach, is that which cannot be killed or destroyed. By shastra, by weapons, it cannot be cut. Na enam chintanti shastrani. Because he being a kshatriya, he had to use the same language only. So once I was asked to give a talk on meditation on a gynecologist conference in Las Vegas, the two. So first of all, when I told that I'm going to Las Vegas, in Chinmaya Mission LA, they said, what? No, I'm going for a conference. Oh, what conference? Gynecology. What? Whatever, you got to do with that. So, but they say that, the importance of meditation for the pregnant women, because there are two lives involved here. So I went there, but my session was around 3:30 or so. So I sat there at 3 o'clock. I wouldn't understand a word of what is going on there. All technical words. Because, as a doctor, then their physicians conference, you won't understand. They are all fully technical. So if you are talking to a warrior, you have to talk his language. So you cannot cut. Na enam atmanam. As yesterday I said, that which is yours, which is forever, alone can be the source of your happiness. Anything that is not yours is constantly subject to change and disappearance. And the dependence upon something other than you is called a misery. Because that is subject to failing you for sure. So what is that you? Which is the source of bliss? Which is source of all the completeness, fulfillment? Also that which is permanent. That one, Atmanam, Enam, Atmanam, na shastrani chindanti. The weapons cannot cut it. Shastra means, not Shastra, read it carefully. Na enam shastrani chindanti, na shastrani, Shastra. As, in Sanskrit, as means to throw. As to throw. When you throw very well, it's called sannyasa. Samyak asati. Nyasati. Nyasa. So here, astra means that which is thrown. So shastra means that which you use to kill someone, holding in the hand. Sha astra. When you throw and do it, it's called astra. Pashupada, astra. It's a weapon, it's a missile. Whereas when you take a sword, that is called shastra. So shastrani na chindanti. Meaning, with your sword or any weapon holding in your hand, you cannot cut this. Meaning what? It is indestructible. Oh, it cannot be cut by any sword, etc. Then can I burn it by fire? Na pavakaha dahati. It cannot be burned by fire. Na enam pavakaha dahati. It cannot, the fire cannot burn it. So can I completely submerge it into the water and dissolve it? No. Apaha na enam kletayanti. It cannot be dissolved or made wet and disappear. Okay, I will use air and dry it up. Na marutaha shoshayati. So, the air cannot dry it. Oh, air dry cannot be used? No. Hair dry or air dry, nothing can be used here. Air cannot dry it. Fire cannot burn it. Water cannot wet it. And weapon cannot cleave it. Any objects in this world must have some form of destruction. Either by fire, water, air, or earth. This cannot be touched by any one of them. Why? Because it is not a matter. Matter alone can be destroyed by matter. Atma, the self, is indestructible because it is not a physical entity or it's a product of molecules. Therefore, it cannot be disintegrated, destroyed at any time. And that is what you are. Once you know that you are indestructible, immortal, then all the other things, you look at it from that standpoint, you realize that I should not depend upon what is mortal. And at the same time, you will be able to watch the mortal existence of yours as a temporary existence only. It is there. All of us have to play our roles in this world. But don't take it too seriously. As a mother, as a father, as a parent, as a grandparent. You have to play that role, no doubt. In the transactional world, that is required. But do it joyfully, happily, for you know it is impermanent. Just like an actor on the stage engages in a particular role, not taking that as himself or herself or themselves nowadays, he, she, and they, I was told. So it is not necessary for us to take any role seriously, but sincerely do it. For no person really lives another person's life, even if it is your own child, right? When your child is small, you say, oh, he is born out of me, he is my own extension. After that, extra attention. So long as the child is listening to you, you understand. After that, fellow starts asking like a Rakshasa. I don't know. Why? I don't know what you say. Exactly like your father. No person can live another person's life. Every one of us have come up with our own bundle of karmas, whether you like it or not. So when you came out of your flight and go for luggage claim, do you take anybody else's luggage? Your luggage is tagged, yours. That is what is said, yours. You cannot take anybody. So also, your karma belongs to only you, and you cannot take anybody else's. Even if you take it, you have to give it up at some point of time. So play that role effectively, efficiently, joyfully, but know that that is not you. And that is possible only when I know who I am. Like an actor, he should know that beyond this stage presence, when I go back to the green room, I am who I am. I am not the role I played. So everyday meditation is that only. When you sit for meditation, you are not a husband or a wife or a parent or a child, none. I am the soul, I am the self. All that I play to the world is for the world. That is not me. None of that is me. Is that what is called Nirvana Shatakam? Mano buddhya hankara chitta ninaham nacha shrotra jihve nacha grana netre nacha vyoma bhumirna tejo na vayuhu chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Now presently we don't say shivoham, shavoham, shavoham. Shava, I mean subject to death. Recently we had a camp and they had, I was doing the meditation session. Before that they had yoga session. And then parallel room, next room. Some of you are there, so you know. So the yoga teacher came to me and said, when do I make them wake up and come to your session? I said, from Shava to Shiva they have to come. Because they are doing Shavasana. And then they have to come to Shivasana. So only when I know who I am as one who cannot be cut by any of the weapons, cannot be burned by fire, cannot be wet by the water, cannot be burnt, dried by the air, that aham, I am, subject to no change, no destruction. So Krishna had pointed out first, what is real you? Towards that it should be your work. But Arjun would say, now, yes, I recall when I learned from Gurukula about the same subject, I understood. You understood. Did you stand under that? Understanding is different from standing under it. So mentally or intellectually understood, but you are not realizing it. Even if you hear it 100 times. Therefore he says, Ascharyavat pashyati kaschitenam Ascharyavat vadati tataiva chanyah Ascharyavat-chainamanya shrunoti Shrutva veda na chaiva kaschit. Kaschit means someone. Kaschit, someone. Pashyati, sees. Sees means comes to understand. Seeing does not mean physically seeing it. Only when you see two Madarasis talking, you will understand it. Oh, you went there? Oh, I see. After that happened. Oh, I see. So I see means I know, I understand. So, pashyati, saha, kaschit. Somebody seeing it, what? Ascharyavat. Somebody listening to this, or when it is being talked to such a person, he understands that with great wonder. Because what is the wonder about? See, the word ascharya means idi charadi, idi ascharya. Is it not when you are wondering something, and the fly goes inside and outside, and you don't even understand? So when you first time when you went to Niagara Falls, or Grand Canyon, jaw dropping. Is it not that's what we say? So when we are told, first time when you hear this Atman, you are immortal. So think about it, when you were 5-year-old, when you are all cute, now you are cute. So when you are 5-year-old, 6-year-old, at that time also you are Atman only. At that time you had no idea, because at the playful time, and then you played and other things, and then after that you had gone to your school and then university, this and that. But after some time, when you had the maturity to want to understand what is the purpose of life, that's why you are here. Now, when you are told that you are the self, even when at that time also the same, yes. It is not that now you became Atman, no. Even at that time when I did not know and I did all the blunders of my life, at that time also, I was that pure Atman only. So, Ascharyavat, how is that I missed this? And it is always me. At that time, I never even turned around and looked at who I am. Sri Ramana Maharshi was asked this question, what was your state of mind before your realization? He said, I don't want to talk about that foolishness. Because all of them, even great masters who came to realize about their nature over a period of time or being taught and then understood that, they say that what I did when I was not aware of my own nature, I don't want to recall and then think about what a foolishness I did. So one who understands it with great wonder. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschit. Enam pashyati. Looks at it with great wonder. Then Ascharyavat vadati tata evacha anyaha. Anyaha, another one, speaks about it with great wonder. Why it is wonder? Because it is no different from you and me. What I am is what you are. It is, when he speaks about it, when he explains this, and which is so simple, straightforward, how is that people don't understand this? It is like a person who is sleeping or dreaming, and in the dream he is suffering. And you are standing outside and looking at him. What do? And he's crying in this dream. Oh, somebody is hurting me, somebody is killing me, oh, please, somebody help. Nobody, nothing. He's completely, comfortably sitting, lying on the bed. What will you do? Let him suffer. No, out of pity, you wake him up. Correct? So when he wakes up, what will he say? Thank you for waking me up. But if he is eating the 14th Rasagulla in the sleep, in the dream, and he's enjoying that, when you wake up, what will you say? Oh, what's your problem? I was enjoying my Rasagulla. So it depends upon what state that person is. That's why the teacher would teach only to the person who really wants to come out of it. And how is that you don't understand that you are not the sufferer? Even though Zindagi is ek suffer. Isn't it? Zindagi ek suffer. Suffer there means journey. Yeah? But if you translate that in English, Zindagi ek suffer only. But if a person thinks that it is suffering, and actually it is only mental misunderstanding only this is. So when he speaks about it, he speaks with great wonder. And the one who is listening with great wonder. Ascharyavat cha enam anyah shrunoti. Anyah shrunoti. One who listens with great wonder. Is it so simple? Is it so, down to earth, it is me? See, all religions make the whole path very complicated. Really speaking, it is Karakala Amalavat. It is very straightforward and simple only. But then, if you make it very simple, people take it for granted. So make it complicated. You have to do 1008 times Gayatri Japa. Okay? And then you do that homa, this homa, go here, there, and roll on the ground to shave the head, and all sort of things. Make it look like very complicated. Only after doing all these things, you realize that you don't have to do all those things. But when we say that, no, Swami, I think you're wrong. You don't make it too simple to us. Our mind is so complex, so therefore our problem, our solution also becomes much more complex. So somebody hears and understands it with great wonder. Somebody speaks it with great wonder. Somebody hears with great wonder. No wonder nobody understands it. That's what it is. Shrutva api, even a person listens, enam na kaschit veda. Nobody understands it. Even though it is spoken very clearly as your own self, and people go on reading scripture after scripture, their complicated stuff, go on studying all these things. Once Ramana Maharshi was asked this question, how many Upanishads that we have to read to understand about the Atman, Brahman? How much we have to study? He smiled as usual and silently he looked at, how many mirrors you see to know your face? How many mirrors you have to see to see your wonderful face? Huh? You tell me. So one is sufficient. If you really want to see your face, one mirror will be sufficient. You don't need to see 100 mirrors because it's all the same. It's not your face is going to change. But in Facebook, face look, you keep on changing your form, this color, that color, and put here, and then chandan, kumar, that sort of things, and then look at how many people liked it also. So to see your face, you need only one mirror. To know yourself, you need only one teaching. But then, we are not satisfied. So here, even one hears this clearly straightforward from one's teacher. It is because of the impurities of the mind. The mirror is filled with so much of dirt, then even when you look at it, you have no clarity of what you're seeing. So that is why all sadhanas are meant for purifying the mind. Knowledge is the same. It is like a person who is attending a concert, of a very, very well-known musician. And after this concert got over, and musician was walking out, so this fellow went and said, "Sir, this time you sang very well." He is a very seasoned artist. He said, this time you heard it very well. Because your knowledge of music has improved. I sang the same thing only. Your knowledge of music has increased. Therefore, you are able to appreciate. That's all it is. So also, Gita is not written every time differently. It is the same, and the 700 verses only written some 6,000 years back. But when you have a clarity or purity in your mind, then you can see that, oh, this is speaking to me something different. Gurudev was asked this question, Swamiji, 40 years you are speaking on the same subject. Are you not getting bored? Never. Why? Audience are different. And their maturity is different. Even though I say the same thing from day one, but their understanding keeps on changing, right? And he also said, as I improve in my purity, I am looking at it differently. So, Shrutva api, even a person hears, enam na veda kaschit. Don't understand this. So, even though it's the most dear, most near, between you and the self, there is absolutely no gap even. Even a little gap is not there. Edasmin udaramantaram kurade atatat tasya bhayam bhavati. When you make a little difference between you and yourself, there is fear. This is what Upanishad clearly declares. Because the difference means mortality has come in. Difference means you have looked at yourself as a limited being. So here, when we make a difference between ourself and ourself, S capital and S small, for we identify with our mind as individual personality and looking at the self as something different from us, that very difference will create all the distinctions as well as the fear, doubt, uncertainty, insecurity, all that, impurities. So then the question is, how do we start this process of going towards the self? So Bhagavan Krishna, in the end of second chapter, he gives the picturization of the person who has reached that point. It is necessary for us, like a roadmap, this is the way to go. In the same way, when you are going towards a particular destination, so too, we need to have the picturization of a perfect personality. Picturization of the man of wisdom. Then we can compare ourselves. How far is me from this? So here is the last 18 verses. Of course, I've selected few only. About the Sthita Prajna. Because Arjuna asked this question, some people had this doubt also. The question raised by Arjuna was, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthidadi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. A person who is abiding in his highest nature, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha, meaning what is his description? Samadhistasya, of the one who is remaining in the seat of meditation, in abidance. Sthidadi kim prabhasheta, what does he speak? How does he walk? How does he talk? Now, one person had a doubt. If it is in the samadhi, how will he talk? What is the question then? The question is, if a person is deeply abiding in his own self, such a person, description is all right, but to ask the question, how does he walk, how does he talk, how does it, because he's not transacting with the world. So the clarity should be, first line is about a person who is in samadhi, second line is about one who came out of it. Samadhistasya ka bhasha. What is the description of a person who is in samadhi? And one sthidadihi, one who has come out of it, but maintaining the same mind, abiding in that, but transacting in the world. How does he speak? How does he talk? How does he move about? This is what he wanted to ask. He asked that question. So Krishna has to give two things. One, what is that state of abidance? What is the mind of a person who came out of it and transacting with the world? So how did he reach there, first of all? So here he says in the next verse,
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
Prajahati Yada Kaman
Prajahati Yada Kaman
Sarvan
Sarvan Parthamanogatan Atman Evatmana Tushtaha Sthita Prajnastadochate. Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna yasyasti saha. One who has, Sthita means steady. Sta in Sanskrit means to stay. Sta, sthanam. Sthanam, station. Pakistanam. Hindustanam, right? Kachakasthanam. Azubuzhistanam, and so many names are there. All that was sta. Sta means station. It's place, an abode. So sthita prajna. Sthita means one who is abiding steadily. In what? Prajna. Morning also we saw in the Mahavakya, what is prajna? Prajnanam kim? Prajnanam Brahma. So, prajna yasya asti. One who has this understanding, I am Brahman, that is steady, it is undoubted. Now, how many of you are human beings here? Only few of them are raising their hand. So, okay, how many of you are not human beings? You have doubt, I think, some of you. Yeah. How about you? Trying to be human, okay. So, when I ask you, how many of you human, you have any doubt? Huh? Why you have no doubt? Who told you that you are a human being? Somebody told you? Your mom told you? Yes or no? Yes. Huh? They said, told you? How do you know that you are a human being? Tell me that. Every day somebody told you. Wake up, you are a human. See, I have no doubt that I am a human being and nobody taught me also. Correct or not? So because I am living along with human beings, if you are living with animals, then you have a doubt. I think I am also one of them, it looks like. So when somebody asks, are you a human being? You feel insulting. What are you asking? In the same way, you are Brahman. And see, even though we have forgotten this, when somebody tells you that you are Brahman, I don't think so. Because nobody seems to be the Brahman here. Aham Brahma Asmi is not something you acquire as a new knowledge, it is a recollection what you have forgotten. We have forgotten ourselves to be Brahman, and the teacher is reminding us, hey, you forgot this? One person was at home and the wife came back from work and then he called, hey John, where are you? He said, I'm under the cot. What happened? So he said, the cat is looking for me. Cat is looking for you? And they had a house cat. Cat is looking for me. Oh, so what? Because I am a rat. What? You're not a rat, you're a human. No, I am a rat. Stupid, come out. She dragged him out. And that time cat entered. He went again. So she said, what is wrong with you? No, I am a rat. You are not a rat, you are a cat. Sorry, you are a human. No, I am a rat. So she didn't know what to do with this. What kind of a foolishness is this? So somehow she put him in a car and then took him to the psychiatrist. So do something to this fellow. He thinks that he is a rat. So she narrated what happened. So the doctor smiled and, don't worry, let him stay overnight here. I will correct him and send it to you. Okay. So he put him in a room and he asked him, what are you? I'm a rat. So where do you get the idea that you are a rat? No, I am a rat. He was rattled. This is not going anywhere. So he put a speaker system in the room which continuously said, I am not a rat, I am a human. I am not a rat, I am a human. I am not a rat, I am a human. Whole night. So he couldn't sleep. He went on listening to it and then repeating it. So next morning the wife came and asked the doctor, is he okay? I think so, let us open and see. He opened and he says, came out, I am not a rat, I am a human. I am not a rat, I am a human. I think finally he got it. So she paid the fees to this doctor, took him to home. I said, John, now go and open the door. He opened the door, the cat was waiting. He ran back to the car. No, I can't go inside. Why? Cat is there, looking for me. Who are you? I'm a rat. You have been saying that you are a human, you are a human, you forgot. No, I realize that, I know that I am a human, but the cat doesn't know. Now tell me, you are Brahman because, you are not Brahman because nobody accepts it? See, this understanding is clear, must be clear. Even if others treat me as human, I am Brahman. Others may look at, others can they look at my mind? Can they look at my thoughts? Thank God not. Everybody looks at me as a physical entity only, As a physical entity, I am a human. But what am I? Who knows? So this assertion is called the abidance. In the beginning stages, one has to assert. Why? Because one has forgotten. Anvaya Vyatireka. This is the methodology of Vedanta. Anvaya means assertion. Vyatireka means negation. What you are, you assert. What you are not, you negate. So here, Sthita Prajnaha means one who has absolutely no doubt about his nature being Prajna. So here, Sthita Prajnaha tada uchyate. Tada then uchyate is spoken to him to be or known to be Sthita Prajnaha. And here, obviously, the sadhana is pointed out. How to remain steady in that awareness. Now the question is, what makes us not to remain as the Brahman, which is all fulfilling, all complete, unchanging presence? And the problem lies in our mind. Why? Because it constantly demands gratification from the world outside. Yata kaman prajahati. When a person gives up all the demands for gratification created by the mind. Manogatan kaman. Yata, when manogatan kaman sarvan prajahati. When one gives up the demands of the mind to gratify itself through association with the world of things, that is the first step. First we need to understand manogatan eva kaman. Desires are nothing but the demands of the mind. See, if there is a Rasagulla there, does the tongue want it or the mind want it? Vada there, let's say there is vada there. It says vada, vada. Does the vada talk to you? Come here. No. What is that which is asking? Tongue wants it. A hand wants it. Eyes want it. Nose want it. None. Who is wanting it? कल नहीं मिलेगा, आज ले लो. So it is the mind which is demanding it. Out of previous experience of vada in that house, because at home she doesn't make this kind of vada, so only when outside I get it. So that mind, demanding mind, that is what is causing this desire. Manogatan kaman sarvan. When we understand all these demands are from the mind only. Yata prajahati, when one gives up. So Ramaji, how can we give up that? Because our habit is so strong. We have never denied our mind. We always succumbed to it, we always gratified it, we always gave it. We never questioned. If mind wants vada, give it. Ice cream, give it. It's like your children, when they are demanding, won't you give? And when you start giving to them whatever they want, before they want, so they become so spoiled. So we have a university called USC, in California, University of Spoiled Children. It's totally spoiled, everybody. Spoiled brats. Our mind is such a spoiled one, before you want to give it, thinking that that is how to live in this world. So when we start our journey towards our own inner self, first thing you need to realize is this mind's demand need not be fulfilled, and see what happens. It will definitely fight with you. One day you can deprive it, next day it will, this intensity of this fight will start more. And you realize that I am slave to my mind. I'm slave to my senses. If I cannot control my own mind, think about it. My own mind is demanding and I cannot control this. Some people ask this, Swamiji, do you read the mind? Whose mind? My mind. I don't know how to control my own mind. Why am I going to do with yours? If I can't take care of my mind, why should I take yours also? So, manogatan sarvan kaman. Now, what is this kama? What is this desire? So, if you ask somebody, why I didn't see you today's satsang, you didn't come? So, that person will say, bahut kamta. In Hindi में क्या होता है? बहुत काम है, lot of work. क्यों lot of work? Because of Sanskrit kama. बहुत काम है. Too much of desire, therefore too much of work. So Sanskrit काम जिसमें है, उसमें बहुत हिंदी काम भी होगा. If you have too many desires, then you have too much of work. इसलिए मेरा मन इंग्लिश, मेरा मन काम नहीं है. Three kamas you should understand. Sanskrit kama, Hindi kama, and English kama. So what is the source of this kama? What is the source of the desire? So analysis has to be done. That is how the Vedanta works. Vedanta is not do's and don'ts. It is about thinking. And that's what we don't do. So in Mahabharata there is a beautiful statement. He kama janami te moolam. O desire, I know your root. Sankalpat kila jayase. You are born out of sankalpa. Atana sankalpeshyami. Therefore, I will stop the sankalpa. Tado tvam na bhavishyasi. Then you will not be there. If cause is removed, effect won't be there. What is the cause of desire? Sankalpa. What is sankalpa? Samyak kalpana. Simple. When I see an object and I project the notion of happiness, that is sankalpa. Shobana adhyasa, in some technically known as projection of desire, happiness upon an object which does not have that. Any object, it's an object. But whether it's desirable or not, decided by whom? If you go to a shop and where there are jewelries are kept there, various kinds of designs, etc., who wants it? The customer. Who wants to get rid of it? The owner. Think about it. The same object, somebody wants to get rid of, somebody wants it. So whether the object is desirable or to be gotten rid of, who decides? It depends on the mind of the person. Right? If this distinction is not there, no transaction will take place. You go to any shop, the shopkeeper wants to get rid of it and you want it. So where is the actual happiness? When he gets rid of all the stock, he is very happy. So by not having, he is happy. You, by having, you are happy. So where is the happiness? In your projection. So this is called sankalpa. So the projection of the notion of happiness on an object causes the desire. So the Mahabharata statement is, therefore I will stop this process. What? I won't project the notion of happiness in anything. Then, what do I want? It was Socrates. Those who heard the podcast might have heard this, one of these. Socrates used to go to a shop every day, but buy nothing. He will go and look at everything and come out. So the shopkeeper was very annoyed. One day he caught hold of him and said, every day you come here, look at all the things in my shop and buy nothing. Why? Because he said, Socrates said, when I go into a shop and look at all the things, I tell myself how I am so happy without any one of them. So if you are able to understand none of them can add to my happiness, then why do I need it? So sankalpa prabhavan kaman, manogatan kaman. So giving up the desire means giving up the process or the practice of projecting happiness on objects. That is the way one has to proceed. Such a person, prajahati, gives up. Not that he doesn't live in this world. He lives in the very same world where you and I live, but none of the objects of the world can demand his attention. For he doesn't think that any one of them have in its content any happiness. It can have a temporary pleasure for the senses, but not happiness which we can hold on to. No. So, prajahadi yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. E partha, sarvan manogatan kaman prajahadi yada. When? Then how will he be happy? Swamiji, if we have these little pleasures of life, of eating a vada, rasgulla, or going to places, going to party and jumping there, or the weekend party, or having some bottled spirituality. So in the name of Diwali and all, people go for bottled spirituality. Birthday parties, marriage and all, bottled spirituality is given to you. So if we thought that, now what is this happiness? How does such a person live in this world? Atmaniyeva tushtaha. The real joy he is content with is with oneself. Atmana, by oneself. In oneself, by oneself, one he is full, complete, happy, content. And that happens only when one, having given up all the demands of the mind, knowing well it is all the fascination of the mind, and in that quietude of the mind, one able to dwell deep into one's own source of happiness. Once one is able to gain that access to that inner happiness, he will not move. And wherever he goes, he'll be there. Like yogaratova, bhogaratova, sangaratova, sangavihina, yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati nandati. Such a person, whichever be the company, whether he is a company, has a person or not, he is in his own bliss. If we are happy, people ask, no, why are you happy? No reason. Something wrong. That's why we are given the last name Ananda, right? Ishware Anandaha Ishwaranandaha. Tejomaya Anandaha. Chinmaya Anandaha. So by giving that name, we are supposed to be happy. Otherwise, we will be given Ishwara Dukhi. Tejomaya Dukhi. We are not Dukhis. Anand. You have to discover that Anand. So one who is Atmani eva Atmana Tushtaha. That Tushti, Santushti, contentment is happiness. Not contact, not by getting something from outside. Such a person is called Sthita Prajna. This will be the picturization. Now you see, now where are you right now? At this point, what is the distance between you at the present moment to that goal of being happy just by yourself? Now how much you have to go? How many things that we have to overcome? Now that is a sadhana. So sadhana is not directly specified. The goal is specified and your present disposition is, present predicament is also known to you. Now you decide how to go about it. For you know the problem. What? Manogatan kaman. It is a desire created by your own mind, which is demanding constant happiness by projecting happiness on the objects which is not there. See, in this process, we are not rejecting the world. We are not say, Sarvam Kshanikam Kshanikam Dukkham Dukkham. It's an A. That's a Buddhist method of a dark picture of the whole thing. It is not the world is the cause of pain. World is what it is. It is Ishvara Srishti. You mean the trees and the plants and the birds and the animals and sun and the moon you created? Anybody claim? No, it is Ishvara Srishti, is Ananda Srishti. He created out of his own joy. We create the problem by projecting our notions here. That is called Jiva Srishti. So give up that Jiva Srishti of raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes and demanding things. And that when you keep on reducing, you will see and you can enjoy the same world which earlier you thought is a bondage. Now you see it's just a play of the Lord here. And so whether you are sitting in isolation in meditation or you are dealing with the world outside, you never stop having that joy. So here, that is how Bhagavan Krishna gives a picturization of who is a Sthita Prajna. Now, having done that, given the picturization of who the true man of realization, Arjuna was very excited. Wonderful. I got the goal. I know the understanding of what the goal is. So therefore, I will not fight. See, his thing is not to fight. Now, if that is the goal, where I have to work on now? On my mind, right? I have to start working on my mind. So let me go into isolation and start perfecting myself by giving up the desires and giving up everything. And slowly, slowly, when I am able to overcome my own mind, then obviously I can reach my goal very easily. So he asked this question to Krishna, if that is my goal, why I have to fight? Shreyo, so he says that if that Shreya Marga you have given to me, which is to remain in that state of bliss by understanding the knowledge, why am I to fight this war? Bhagavan Krishna smiles and said, it is not that easy. So therefore he says,
न कर्मणाम् अनारम्भात्
नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते
नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते
न च संन्यसनादेव
न च सन्न्यसनादेव
सिद्धिं
सिद्धिं
समधिगच्छति
समधिगच्छति.
That perfection known as Siddhi. Siddhi means accomplishment, success, fulfillment. That Siddhi of Atmanyeva Atmana Santushti. That state where one is able to remain abiding in oneself in bliss. Where there is no action necessary. Naishkarmya Siddhi. Naishkarmya means no karma. Where the action doesn't lead there. No action will lead you there. Which is referred as actionless state. Now, Swamiji, what is this actionless state? In another 2 hours, maximum 3 hours, all of you go there. Some of you are already there, I know that. In sleep, what action you do? Active sleep, Swamiji. You may be snoring. But what is that action that you do in your slumber, like a lumber? What do you do? No action. And you are unhappy about it. Is that, Swamiji, I slept yesterday night so well, I am very unhappy. It's oxymoron then. Contradiction. It's like happy husband. So a person who is in the deep sleep state, what action he does or she does? So if we in the state of sleep without any action, we are able to remain in bliss, what action we should do to go there? No, nothing. So, Naishkarmya Siddhi, the word is used here. Naishkarmyam Siddhim na Samadhi Gacchati. He will not reach that state. When? By not doing. Oh, you are contradicting yourself. Karmanam Anarambat. Aramba means to undertake. You have seen, if you go to India, Government of India undertaking. Means what? If you want to give anything, under the table you have to give. This is called government. Not on the top of the table. Undertaking. The aramba means, literal meaning is engagement, undertaking. Now, undertaking word you should understand correctly. Don't take it in that sense. I just made a joke of it. Aramba means arabhyate idi aramba, where it is taken up. Anaramba means not to take up, not to engage. By not engaging, you cannot become actionless. See, you have to be careful when you are reading Gita. You have to read in between lines. That is why it is important to understand the traditional interpretation of this. If you go merely by the literal statement, you will get confused only. By not doing, you will not become actionless. This is a statement. Karmanam of the actions, anarambat, not doing, naishkarmyam, actionless, purushaha ashnute. One will not reach. Na ashnute. So, one may say, not doing is actionless, right? Not doing is action. What are you doing right now? All of you? But are you doing anything? Physically you are acting, doing any action? No. But your mental action is going on, hopefully. Are you all listening? So that action. So even if somebody comes into this room, looks at all of them are sitting doing nothing. Right? You are not engaging in any activity. So you will say, what are you people sitting there 1.5 hours doing nothing? Even though physically you are not doing anything, but mind is engaging in action. So too, he says, by merely physically not doing something, you will not reach the state of actionlessness. Because mind is still active. Until the desires are gone away, physical body, even if it is not acting, mind will still be on. It is as dangerous as when you're driving a car, you put a full accelerator and press the brake also. Tell me what happens. What happens to the car then? Bekar hoga. You press the accelerator also and then the brake also then. In the same way, he calls such a person in Gita as a hypocrite. Krishna calls such a person as hypocrite. He may look like a person who doesn't do anything. Actually, a lot of action going on. So, all the physical body has been made to not engage. But at the mind level, he is having so many things going on. So Arjun, without giving up desire, giving up action is not possible. If you give up action but have a desire, it will eventually make you do. On the other hand, if you have given up in your mind and engage in action, it will lead you to actionlessness. Karmendriyani sayyamya ya aste manasasmaran indriyartan vimudhatma mityacharasya uchyate. Karmendriyani, all the physical sense organs, sayyamya, controlling, withdrawing. Ya aste, one who sits. Manasasmaran, but in the mind thinking, indriyartan, about the objects that you want to engage. Vimuda atma, deluded fool. He is called Mityachar. So, by merely not engaging in action, it is not a state of actionlessness. Even as we go to the state of sleep, it is not that we become desireless. Desire for the day is over, only you have postponed it to the next day, isn't it? आज नहीं करेंगे, कल करेंगे, कल करता हूँ. So that's what Kolkata also. आज नहीं करूँगा, कल करता हूँ. So it is not that you gave up desire. Today you are tired, and I'll do it tomorrow. So too, when you leave this body, इस जन्म में नहीं, अगले जन्म में करेंगे. Definitely you will come back. Why? Because you only decided. हाँ, इस जन्म में नहीं होगा भाई. थक गया हूं. आई एम बिकमिंग ओल्ड. नेक्स्ट जलेबी चाहिए? नहीं, शुगर है ना, अगले जन्म में देगी. So you yourself decided what you would be in the next birth. And so therefore, without giving up desire, giving up action is hypocrisy. On the other hand, give up the desire in the mind, and even if you engage, you are not going to be caught up in this world. That is what the secret of Karma Yoga. So, na karmanam anarambat, by not engaging in the action. Karmanam anarambat, naishkarmyam na ashnute purushaha. One would not reach the state of actionlessness. It is not you have to stop action. Action you don't need to do anymore. See, I'll give a simple example. Your child, which is 2-3 years old, playing with the teddy bear and all that, right? So as the child grows up to become 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 or 15 years old, does he not, the child, give up playing with the teddy bear? Some of them don't, but anyway, most of the mature ones give up. Now, that child has grown beyond the need to play with the teddy bear. Right? That's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya also said, Balastavat krida saktaha. When your child is there, it is engaging in play. Tarunastavat taruni saktaha. When he has become a young boy, or a young adult, then does he play with the teddy bear anymore? He has ponytails and cocktails. He will go for that. So every stage of our life, our engagement changes. Why? Because we have given up what we were doing before, knowing that no more can give me joy, then you go for the next level. So what is that? Meaning you have grown beyond that. You've grown above that. So too, unless you grow above the action, you cannot give up action. You should see how action is limited. How action cannot give you permanent happiness. Then only the action will stop. You don't need to stop. It will drop by itself. You giving up action is different from action giving you up. You don't need to give up sweet. Sweet will give you up. You don't need it anymore. When you realize that, then only you are mature. You giving up, it's still possible that tomorrow you'll go back again. So that knowledge is that which makes you clear that I don't need it anymore. Even if it is there, it doesn't disturb me. Even if you give me bottles of spirituality, I don't need it. So you keep it. So I have no problem with that. Don't run away. Run away means you're weak. Don't put these things in front of me. Once our Gurudev was there in somebody's house. He was hosting Gurudev. And in many of the houses, they have the bar, the side bar. So they have bar. And Gurudev, was such a mature person, he looked at it and smiled. You will have it? Have it, okay. So one day, after the talk, he came back a little tired. So he sat next to the bar and then sat on a chair. Give me some drink. So this person, Swamiji, really? Stupid. Juice. Because even if you're so thirsty, you won't go for it. Why? Because that is not what I need. Because I know that that is no more of any happiness to me. So if let it be there, so what? So that way, when the action is no more a source of your happiness, when you come to out of maturity, you know it, that is called Naishkarmyam. That is called the state of actionlessness, not doing. Therefore, he says, na karmanam anarambat naishkarmyam purusha snute. Or in the name of sannyasa, by tradition I have to give up. Krishna smiles, na sanyasanat. Not by just giving up. No, it doesn't work. By staying away, no. By staying away also you will not reach that siddhi. Because here the sannyasa means jnanam vina, without knowledge. Without knowledge, renunciation is a pain. Because for the world, as far as the world is concerned, you have given up. But mentally you have not given up. Because you have not gained the knowledge that you don't want it. So, mere sannyasa, nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. By merely giving up in the name of sannyasa, also you will not reach that siddhi. What siddhi? Atmani tushtaha. Tushti. The state of inner bliss will not be gained merely because he gave up something. Without the access to that knowledge which reaches you to that state of the self. See, otherwise what we need to do, all of us go to sleep. Anyway, bliss is there, no? But the point is, when you are in the state of sleep, you don't know the bliss at that point. Only after waking up you said, I had a wonderful sleep, Anand. Afterwards, while you are there, you are not able to maintain that awareness. Because there is a thick layer of ajnana sitting there. Therefore, even though you are at the lap of the Lord, you are not able to recognize you are there. Therefore, you are not able to recall it when you want it. You can go to sleep whenever you want. But to gain that bliss of actionless presence in the Brahman, that tushti cannot be yours unless you have that jnanam. It is like Gurudev used to give the example that a child is hungry, but it is tired also, it went to sleep. The mother opens the mouth and puts the food also, and that fellow eats. Does he really enjoy it? The food? Though hunger is gone. When he wakes up, hunger is gone, but no experience of eating the food. So too, in the sleep, we have that bliss, but we have no ability to recognize it. Why? Jnanam vina. Without knowledge, you will not be able to understand your nature as that. And you cannot access it when you want. Not even you know what it really means. Any dependence external for your ananda is ignorance. And if you think that by sleep you will get it, that is also ignorance only. So here he says, nacha sanyasana deva, merely giving up, na siddhim samadhigacchati. He will not reach. Or samadhigacchati means, adhigacchati means to know, to realize also. Na samyak adhigacchati. It does not realize it. So don't escape. Don't run away from work. Understand work is not the source of true joy. We'll see the next few of them. I don't think I'll finish this. But my intention is not to finish the text. Intention is to understand it well. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. The podcast which we are talking about, these 52 talks I gave of 15 minutes or 14 minutes each on the topic of Chinmaya mind. This was during just starting of COVID. So this is for people to not to get depressed and dejected, but keep their mind, in higher contemplation. So the Chinmaya mind, CHINMAYAMIND, just 12 letters. So what I did was each letter is of one value, and 12 values to be practiced, and every week that one value is taken. For example, C is compassion, H for humility, I for intelligence, N for nobility, etc., M for mindfulness. So in that month, it's about compassion, for 4 talks on compassion, then 4 talks on humility, and 4 talks on intelligence. It's not a talk, it's a guidance. So it is not a lecture, it is suggestions. So in a guidance slowly. So if you scan the podcast, that QR code is there, then you will get enrolled to that Spotify. There's no, I think, money involved. So it's only email address. So that will give you the one podcast for a week, 1 week. The next week it will change. So I think we already had, it started somewhere in the middle of July. So it's already 3 weeks are over. So this weekend will be the 4th one. So it will be 52 weeks. That's the idea. So that, so you can scan the QR code.